good evening. You join me in, that parking space outside that cinema where I just watched a film. I nearly didn't come to the cinema this evening. I'm absolutely shattered. I had a bit of a full-on Friday night. I went to that London and did some dancing. And yeah, today's been a bit of a weird one. I'm very tired and a bit spaced out as a result. And I nearly didn't go, but the film I went to see was only on at 6:30, or is only on at 6:30 this week. So it was like, if you don't go tonight, you're not going to see it. And I was listening to the Wittertainment Pod, which has Rufus Jones and Anna Bogatskaya sitting in for Mark and Simon this week. And I heard them talk about this film and I was like, I've got to go and see it. And I'm so glad I did. So the film I went to see this evening is called Our Ladies. It's based on a novel. It's directed by a Scottish chap called Michael Caton-Jones, who directed a film I absolutely love that never gets shown on television, which is Memphis Belle. But Our Ladies is the story of six girls in a Catholic high school in Fort William in Scotland. The film's set in 1996. And it follows the girls as they travel to Edinburgh for a day trip to sing in a competition, because the girls are in a choir. But what they really do is use it as an opportunity to explore Edinburgh, get drunk, hit on men, sing on stage at a Northern Soul Motown club. Like, it's just, it's this kind of long, it's one of those films, I don't know why Go just popped into my head, but where you follow a set of characters over a period of time. So we follow them from the morning getting to school, going to Edinburgh, coming back from Edinburgh, and what follows on from that. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's very rude. It's quite full on. As the mother of a 12-year-old girl, it's faintly terrifying, because you just suddenly start to think about, oh my god, what are they going to get up to? But because, as I say, this is set in 1996, it captures what it was like to be a teenage girl before social media existed. And I think it's a very, very different experience. So in 1996, or for most of 1996, I was 14. The girls in this film, I guess, are supposed to be about 16, 17 maybe. Like, I don't get the impression they're in sixth form, although they're talking about uni. So maybe they are sixth form age, maybe they are sort of 17, 18, but still, they're young. Obviously older than I was in that year. But yeah, when I look at the stuff they get up to, drinking, smoking, hitting on men, I'm just like, it's made me realise how sheltered my teen years were. And I was in an all-girls Catholic school, but I wasn't getting up to the sort of shenanigans that these ones were. I was mainly just watching Take That videos and making up dance routines to Eternal songs, which was far safer, although perhaps not as wild and fun as these girls in this film. The actresses are all, I guess, reasonably new. I didn't know any of them from anything else, and I can't tell you their names, which is bad. If this was my actual job, obviously I would have them written down, but I don't. I can tell you every single one of them was superb, and it really managed to capture what it's like to be in a group of five, to be a friendship, to have those ups and downs, to have the different dynamics that even within the group of five, there's, one who's more of a leader, there's two who are best friends since forever within the group, and it just really manages to give an insight into what that dynamic is like, what that feels like, the intensity of those feelings when you're just on the cusp of adulthood and you know that everything's about to change, and perhaps that these girls in your life that are so important in that moment perhaps won't be there in a year's time. It made me think about the girls I grew up with, obviously now women, and it just captured that feeling so perfectly. It's something I can relate to. For all I say, my teens were not as wild as what's demonstrated in this film by these girls, but it really took me back to what it was like. It's very much a working class film, so it really looks at the sort of what it's like to be from somewhere small, from somewhere remote, to be working class, to have no money, to have, you know, for some of them, no prospects, that your best chance is to get pregnant by a man who has a job. So therefore you can at least be supported. This is their ambitions, and university and those sort of opportunities are only open to the girls who have wealthy parents. I really encourage people to watch this film. I guess that not everybody will relate to it in the same way I did, but then when I heard Anna and Rufus talking about it on the Entertainment Pod, Rufus had also said that he very much enjoyed it, and he's never been a teenage girl in the 90s, or indeed ever. So I do think there's stuff in there for other people. You don't have to have been a teenager in the 90s to get it. I think it probably helps. But yeah, I'm interested to see what all of these young women go on to do, like what other projects they pop up in, because they were all brilliant. Each character was well-rounded, and, you know, you cared about each of them individually. You didn't necessarily know a huge amount about all of them, but you knew enough to care, and their friendship was very believable. Like, I completely believed in their bond that they had. I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I made the effort to go and see it. It's very, very good. I don't think it'll be in cinemas long, because we're starting to get more blockbusters and the like, and, you know, there isn't necessarily as much space for little films like this. But equally, if you watched it in a year's time or 6 months' time on Netflix or Prime or wherever, I still think you would enjoy it immensely. It's not necessarily a big screen experience, but because I'm so tired, I'm really glad I was in the cinema, because if I'd been trying to watch it at home, I know I would have been quite easily distracted. So it was nice to go and be absorbed into it and just enjoy that experience. I'm sure I will be back to enjoy another film again soon. Until next time, thank you for listening and watching. Subscribe to my channel. I lost a subscriber somewhere. I was up to 103 and now I'm back down to 102, but who knows why. I don't really care. I do it because I love it, and if other people enjoy it, then happy days. Until next time then, TTFN guys, Katie out.